Guys, welcome back to Six Steps. So I thought of doing some other video rather than continuing the Fatafat series now. So this video is actually dedicated to all the board students and the 10th students who are going to give their first term examination in 1 or 2 months. So these are some tips that you should keep in mind before giving your first term examinations. So make sure you watch the full video, let it be in 2x or 1.5x or whatever, but make sure that you're watching the whole video. So the first point is devote the last one day to practice questions. Since the 10th has started, you had spent all your time learning and revising your topics. So the last day should be devoted for practicing the questions to make sure that you are able to answer the questions with the things you have learned in this past 6 months. So make sure that you are practicing the last year's sample paper questions or the questions which was repeatedly asked in the books. Make sure you are practicing those types of questions as well as exemplar for maths and science. So for science, anyway, at least 2 questions will be asked from the exemplar. So make sure you are going through that also. Second point is don't waste your time watching 3 or 4 hour lectures. I know that there are many videos on the YouTube which provide 3 or 4 hour long lectures for each chapter. That is the best way to learn. But now it's not the time to watch 3 or 4 hour lecture because we don't have much time for our examinations to come. So make sure you're watching one short lecture that is about 10 to 15 minutes or maximum of 30 minutes of each chapter to make sure that you are able to recollect all the points of the chapter. So we have made the chemical reactions and equations and nutrition in our channel, and acid bases and salts will be coming very soon, that is within this week it will be coming. So make sure you are watching that type of videos rather than 3 or 4 hour lectures. This will really help you in revision as well as saving a lot of time in your preparation. Now, third one, minimize distractions. I know you will be bored of hearing this, but what I mean by minimizing distraction is not like don't take your phone at all a day. No, it's not the way. But what I'm saying is when you're sitting for studying, like let it be 2 hours or 3 hours a day when you're studying, make sure that that 2 or 3 hours you are giving your full productivity. That means in that 2 or 3 hours, there should not be any disturbance around you. Let it be your phone, let it be your parents, let it be your neighborhood or whatever. That 2 to 3 hours with breaks. Don't study 2 to 3 hours in a one shot. You cannot do that, and if you do that also, productivity will be very less. So make sure that you are taking breaks in between, and that 3 hours should be your full productivity. You should not be distracted by any other means. Phone is the biggest distraction. So for that 3 hours, make sure you put it on silent or off the internet or whatever way you can do to minimize it. So make sure when you're studying, give it your full shot rather than being distracted each and every single time. The next point is presentation. For your first board exams or any other first term or any other exams of your 10th, you may have already noticed that teachers will cut mark very much. Like they will be very keen on cutting your marks. This is because the board correction actually depends on how you write it rather than what you write. You should write in a precise manner. It should be to the point. There should be keywords, and if you can underline the keywords, it will be the best. But if you don't know what are the main points required, just don't go for underlining. If you go for underlining and underline the wrong point, you may lose mark for that also. So if you know to underline the keywords, what is actually required for that answer, make sure that you underline it. Leave spaces after each answer. Your handwriting need not be fancy. It may not be. Just make sure that it is the teacher can read the answer. Teacher can read the answer without any word hardships, or she can read it without any inconvenience. Write it big and underline the keywords if you can. Leave one line after each answer and let it be precise. Don't write for 1 mark, 1 paragraph. For 1 mark means it should be 1 sentence or just 1 word. If it is for 5 marks, there should be 5 points, 5 main points, or if you want to be in the safest point, you can write 6 points. So make sure you're writing precise, short, the answers which can be read by the teacher without any problems. That is a point of presentation. And take care of your mental health. Like, I know that you all will be stressed. Of course, I was also very stressed. So, but in this process, don't let your mental health be avoided or not cared about. Mental health is the one which plays an important role in all those stressful times of the exam, that is 10th, 11th, and 12th, or the college times also. So make sure you're giving enough time for mental health. That is, do what you love. If it is craft, or if it's art, or if it's music, or whatever it is, make sure you're giving time for that. And don't stress yourself in this process. And these examinations which are conducted by the school, they will try to cut your mark to the maximum so that you can score your best in the board exams. So if your marks are also less, don't take it personally or do anything which you're not supposed to do, and try harder the next exam. This is just going to be a first term examination for you all, and this is not the end. This is just the starting of your exam. After this, your pre-boards are left, your boards are left. So don't take this marks personally. If you get high marks also, don't be overconfident. Next term is going to be a higher level, the higher worst. The worst is going to increase. So make sure that you're not being overconfident and work extra harder for scoring more good marks. And if you score less marks this time, it's of no issue. It's just a first term. But make sure that you're working harder and giving your best shot next time. So take care of your mental health first. So that's it all for today's video. So make sure you're keeping these tips on your mind. And the last tip is the most important. Don't forget who you are in this process. Always remember that you are the best and you can do anything to make yourself proud. So keep calm, study well, and score the best marks. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.